Well, congratulations, guys. You made it through another week. It's Friday. I hope that you enjoy the day, the end of your work week. Have a good time. I hope it's casual Friday where you're working. And enjoy. And have a great weekend as well. Thanks for tracking along with us this week. We're going to jump right in. Luke chapter 20, verses 17 and 18. It says, Jesus looked directly at them and asked, "Then what is the meaning of that which is written, 'The stone the builders rejected has become the cornerstone'? Everyone who falls on that stone will be broken to pieces. Anyone on whom it falls will be crushed." Now again, just a little bit of context. This comes right at the end of the parable of the tenants that Jesus told, which was basically a parable that was a way of Jesus encoding some pretty direct messages that he was giving to the religious leaders of his day, and how they were the ones that were destroying God's kingdom and, basically going to kill the Messiah, this stone that was rejected. And so Jesus, after telling this parable, and the religious leaders are scratching their head and they're starting to pick it up what he's saying, he asks them, who is the stone that's rejected? He wants them to acknowledge that he is the one that is prophesied about in Scripture, and for them to see that he was the one that they were rejecting, and it was all coming together. And so he asks them directly, what is the meaning of that which is written? And he quotes the Old Testament, "The stone the builders rejected has become the cornerstone." He wants them to realize that this was the plan of God all along. As they're right there actively rejecting him, he is actually becoming the cornerstone of what God is doing, the cornerstone of God's program, his kingdom, his church. And then he says this, everyone who falls on that stone will be broken to pieces. Anyone on whom it falls will be crushed. This is also a very insightful thing that Jesus is saying that requires some wisdom to break down. The first part, even though it sounds bad, is actually the good part. Everyone who falls on that stone, who is Christ, this cornerstone, it says will be broken to pieces. Guys, when you come to Christ, we've talked about it all week, you need to be broken. The only way that you can come to Christ is being broken, because you're a sinful being and he is perfect, holy perfection. And so we come to him, and when we come to this cornerstone, we need to allow him to break us. We break upon that stone. That is the picture that Jesus is giving. But then he says, anyone on whom it falls will be crushed. And so Jesus is basically creating a dichotomy here. He's saying that there's only two options. You can come to the cornerstone, who is Christ, and be broken upon him, or if you don't, it will crush you. And that was the message that he was giving to the religious leaders. He was saying, because you will not be broken in coming to me, I, the chief cornerstone, am going to end up crushing you. It was a very powerful and encoded statement that he was giving to those religious leaders. Guys, again, as we end this week on this theme of brokenness, it just drives home the point one more time. Brokenness is everything to God. It is what Jesus is looking for. And so I just challenge you, if you haven't gotten to that place yet this week, get to the place where you're really seeing where you're at and being open and honest before God and breaking before him.